Hey there, everyone. I hope you are all doing good. Today we are going to take a look at this mini system that I've put together for a workshop I was doing in Grenoble 2 days ago, alongside with other modular synthesizers. I just wanted to make a very small system to showcase the basic West Coast synthesis Buchla principle with an actual Buchla oscillator and inspired modules. So before I put all this back into their respective cases, I thought it would be fun to try them out like this on its own first, and then sequenced or played with different interface. Okay, so we have the 258T, which is the dual oscillator, the basic oscillator of the 200 series by Buchla. This Quadra from Intellijel is basically a clone of the 281 quad function generator. The difference there is it has an exponential and linear mode, while the original only has linear. There is attenuator on attack and decay that are actually normal, so if you plug one here, you have control over attack and decay with only one cable. Then there is the same OR circuit that helps you to combine 1 and 2 here, and 3 and 4 here. And there's also the quadrature mode, which is very different from the original. I have another clone that I will show later in another video, another clone of the 281, that has the original quadrature way of working, but in this one, if you set it on, it will automatically set those to loop. And when one is at the end of attack, it will trigger the other one. And so you have those kind of alternating retriggering of the two, which can be very fun. And then we have the low pass gate, the LXD from Make Noise, that has a like more resonant and sharper sound on this channel and a more round and long decaying on this channel. And I've just added this little attenuator if we want to attenuate the signal. Because, for example, if I take this and plug it here, I completely open the low pass gate. If I want a darker sound, that's where I will use the little trim over there. So I can tell it not to open fully, which can be useful. Let's check how this one sounds. It is very different. And actually, if there's nothing plugged here, we can have a second control here. The audio will pass through this one and go to this one. Okay, so now let's start to have fun with the sequencer. I will use this envelope to sync it. So now you see that if I speed it up or slow it down here. So we can use that to make notes. One cool thing is that we have the quantization here. Let's go for minor. We have the choice as well of the range. 2 volts. It's quite precise. So let's remove that quadrature. And start to have fun with the different thing we can do here. If you want more detail about this guy, there's a video I made just about this one. Over there. Let's do some FM. Get those classic weirdo Buchla timbre. There's a reason why I didn't simply start this one. I use this one as a clock, this channel, so I can modulate it with another function. Let's add some spring reverb from the mixer. So we are in proper Buchla territory. We could use, instead of this function, could use the second row here to open our low pass gate. And then had the space to put some random, but we could use the random mode here. Let's stack those, so like the high notes will be open to the max. So yeah, just with this little guy and this small system, you can make some pretty wild thing. I thought Bowden did a lot of very cool patches using this and the 281T from Tiptop. As I said in another video, I didn't buy it because I already have the Quadra and another 281 clone. But I would probably end up buying it just for the collection, I guess. Let's add more randomness by modulating the function that is doing the modulation. And modulating as well this one. Full on random clock. That's one of the things I love about the Buchla thing, is that when you start to pile up the modulation, you end up having like those weird electronic insect sounds. Or aquatic, weird beast thing. Which goes perfectly with the spring reverb. Let's go into this input for more modulation depth. Maybe add some modulation from those two to this guy. That's probably a patch that I could leave like this. It will live on for hours without probably ever repeating itself. Back on a more reasonable thing to do, let's try to patch up the DFAM from Moog with this and this. So let's take the square wave oscillator to this low pass gate. Start this guy. We will have our main gate clocking. Oh, this one's broken. I have to get it fixed one day. Okay, so here are my envelope. As I can have it exponential, let's go for exponential. We'll remove some reverb. Okay, so now I can have my CV. So in the DFAM, you can have a second oscillator modulate the first one. But we can already make a lot of simple techno style thing with this. We should also send the envelope to control the pitch of this oscillator for a more percussive thing. But the main element that makes the DFAM is the second row controlling the velocity. So in order to have the velocity working here, we need a second VCA, which we will use the second LXD channel here for this. And the output will go to this and to this. And the CV of row B will control the output. Let's see if it works. As those are low pass gates with actuals, it's quite slow. The response is quite slow. We can still have some pretty fat sounding thing. Let's send the envelope as well on the modulation oscillator. Put it in saw wave. Let's try using only sine waves. Okay, so let's keep going with another, like, classic pairing. The ARP Keystep. No, the Arturia Keystep with the little Buchla thing. So I have pitch going to the pitch of the oscillator number one envelope being triggered here. CV. Sound. Let's go with lots of reverb. So this is for those who think Buchla are for only experimental stuff. Let's use the velocity to control the brightness of the sound, controlling the crossfader, the wave shaper I mean here. So if I hit softly have a sine wave, and the more I hit hard, the more I bring the saw wave into the game. as I said it already, the sequencer of the Keystep does record the velocity that you are playing at. So could have the speed changing if we were clocking the Keystep from one of the end of cycle out. But I won't do it now because it's not available here. I mean, size matter. But what's cool here, it's a very typical West Coast thing to do, would be to use, let's use the quadrature mode. So I will have number 1, modulating the decay. And envelope number 2, modulating the attack. From quite boring sequence to something quite alive already. We can transpose that, if I remember well. I know, I'm recording over on top. Yeah, now we can transpose. So here I could record on top. And as I have been playing with the keyboard like this, I could also set this function generator. You could do exactly the same with the Buchla and Tiptop 281T, to set it in sustain mode, where instead of just trigger it, you have the sustain of the note, which you will hear more clearly if you have longer steps. And here with the Keystep we can play actually with the gate time, using shift and gate time function over here. Long gates, short gates. To try to use, just trying here, we'll send the other oscillator to the strike input. So we will have a little bit of his frequency on top. If we set it very slow, it will be only some sort of rhythmical information. But if we go more faster, it will be some sort of amplitude modulation. Okay, so for this last little setup demo, we're going to do a 2-voice patch using the tracker with the CVOCD to control this. I already made a little sequence that will be our first channel. So pitch, trigger, pitch, not the audio out, audio out. I am going to decide that this will be well tuned. We'll see. So now, pitch, second oscillator, output of this one to this upper channel, the LXD. I've taken this output, so both outputs are fed into my mixer. via DI with minus 20 dB pad to make sure it doesn't overdrive the preamp. Oops. Now let's try stuff. Oops, no, that's not right. What we want is MIDI channel number 2. So now that they are well tuned, okay, let's try to write something different in a more, like, I guess we're in Locrian, so every 6 step random from this fill.